So we're going to talk about the myth of the Grand Couloir.
Bienvenue and welcome to 150 Days of Winter.
Hello! 7 screws, 1 plate. So, a bit of background first. The Grand Couloir is an off-piste run in Courchevel, although it's graded as a black. It starts right outside the main Solaire cable car at the summit and is very easy to get to. It is one of 5 couloirs under the main telepherique and is probably the easiest. You can see Candide destroying the other chutes last year. He makes them look like a blue run. They are not. But because of the easy access, it makes it very overskied. And because it has the word couloir in it, it becomes a magnet to everyone who knows even slightly what that means. If you type in Corbett's Couloir into YouTube, you will see what I think a proper couloir is, but I digress. The run itself is made up of 3 parts: the path, the first bowl, and the main chute. Now, depending on the snow conditions, this can either be a beautifully powdery steep slope, or it can be a horribly icy mogul field. It all depends how long after a snowstorm it is, so beware. Now I'm going to review some videos all highlighting different problems and snow conditions. I want to make it clear that I'm not a ski instructor, okay? But I've been skiing this slope since the 90s, okay? And I've made many of the mistakes that these people have. Okay, I am not in any way criticizing anyone's ski technique. All of these videos were posted on YouTube, so I presume the creators were more than happy to show them off, but hopefully by pointing these out, I will make your next trip down it better, easier, etc. So why don't we jump in? This first video here was shot in 2013, and it shows a classic example of skiing the path. Some people say that this is actually the hardest part of the whole run, and as you can see, it looks like an arête. He even stops halfway down to look over the edge. You should never do this. A, because it freaks people out, and B, you're stopping in the middle of a nicey narrow path, a narrow icy path. Okay, if someone is behind you, drops in, doesn't realize you're standing in the middle there, it can go wrong like you wouldn't believe. Okay. Now, it also shows how overskied the Grand Couloir is, because literally this is full of moguls and warning poles. Okay, this was uploaded in March, and you can see that it is literally full of icy moguls. Okay, he's following his mate, and he survives the first bowl. As they get ready to ski the main chute, you can see on the left-hand side that basically where everyone has traversed across. Okay, and this is a major problem that people come across. That I'm not saying they chicken out, but basically they think if they traverse left long enough, it'll be fine. To these guys' favour, both of them basically they traverse a tiny bit and then they ski down. And you know what? They ski the slope fine. Okay. Overall, I would give this like a 2 out of 10 for snow conditions, and I would give them a 6 out of 10 for basically for them skiing down. Okay. When you're heading up the telepherique, you should always look to see how bad the piste is. Okay. If it's a long time since it snowed, it's not right. It's not the right time for your first time down the Grand Couloir. I'm just saying. Okay. If you're wearing powder skis and you're skiing down icy bumps, then it's not going to end well. I'm just going to say that. This next video, we have British ski legend Graham Bell skiing it. You can see here the path is far less rutted and is easily skied. One thing you'll notice that unlike the previous guys, instead of heading to the left into the bowl, they of course head to the right. And of course they have access to what is a really nice powder field here, which again, snow conditions being great, just makes it a pleasure to see him ski it. At the start of each of these sections, you'll see that there are Gawkers who are trying to get up enough courage to go down. These guys at least have an ESF instructor, which I guess is good. And as you can see by the snow, it's absolutely beautiful. It's there aren't very many moguls, and the snow conditions are absolutely great. But despite that, he does catch an edge on a rock as well. So even with great snow, there are still obstructions. And yeah, as you'd expect from Graham Bell, he this shows the classic example how to ski the Grand Couloir perfectly. Okay, snow conditions 9 out of 10, Graham Bell 10 out of 10. So this next video shot in 2019 on a GoPro Hero 8. As you can see again, the snow conditions look really good, and as they ski down the path, you can see that it is not rutted at all, which is really good. However, even though the snow conditions are really good, when they get to the end of the path, you can see some bare rocks, etc. Because this is exposed at the top there, wind can easily go and remove snow off the top there. As he reaches the end of the path, he has to contend with a group of Gawkers who are, of course, looking down at moguls down at the first bowl and are trying to pluck up the courage who to follow, who to go first, of course. And as you can see, it gives you a traffic jam. Yeah, if you have to stop and wait for other people to go down, it just causes a bottleneck and makes it more difficult for everybody concerned. Okay, to his benefit, he manages to pass these kids who are in front of him. I'm presuming they aren't his kids. Again, I don't know. Yeah, snow conditions. They're not as nice as before, but it's generally, the moguls are starting to build up, but all in all, the conditions are really good. My only problem that I have is in the moguls, he does the classic 2 turns and pause, which basically, if you're skiing down moguls, and you're unsure of yourself, you will, you start off thinking, I'm going to go down the zipper line, I'm going to put in some turns. You do 2 turns, you might be going too fast, and you do 2 turns and then you pause, and then you do 2 turns and then you pause. Again, this is very normal, but again, you're making yourself an obstruction on the piste. And as you can see, he starts looking back up the slope to see what the other skiers are doing. Of course, as he's down slope, he should be more worried about what's below him than what is above him. Looking at this, the slope is super nice and soft. And you know what, carries on skiing down the rest of here. So snow conditions, I'm going to say maybe a 7 out of 10, and for his performance I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Okay, so this next one's shot in February 2018, and one of the problems you'll come across is, instead of heading down the path straight, you'll try and side slip it. And you can see immediately that he's got in trouble because his tip has caught on a bunch of snow on the side of the path. This is showing how overskied it is. Okay, and he's having a few problems with the path again. Having to contend with 2 people who are in front of him. Again, I don't know if he knows those people, but again, they're stopping in the middle of this narrow piste and causing an obstruction. again, he heads to the left, and you know what? The snow in the first bowl looks pretty good. There are a few moguls forming, but again, he does a classic mistake that people do when they ski moguls, in that they basically will do one turn and then they'll point back uphill because they are afraid of their speed. If you actually listen to this video, you'll hear this guy has the added effect of heavy breathing going on. So it makes me think that he's slightly out of his depth skiing this run. Okay, again, I mean nothing to it. I'm just making an observation on this. It just sounds like he's labouring through these turns. Okay, and because of like the mythos of the Grand Couloir, you're bound to meet many skiers who, exactly like this, labouring through each turn and, you know, becoming an obstacle to others. You know, checking out the main chute and of course, you know, turn by turn, making his way down. Okay, I'm going to say for this one, you know, snow conditions are, yeah, no, I'm going to say they're almost like the one before, except for the path at the beginning. Snow conditions are about 8 out of 10. I'm going to give this guy a 7 out of 10. Of course, this brings us to the last video. The three amigos go and ski the Grand Couloir. This should be amusing to watch. The path itself is quite rutted when they ski it, and yeah, I'm going to say a little bit out of control when they're doing this. A good command of the snowplow, and again, as I said before, when you do this, making sure that the piste in front of you is clear, because if you do end up bombing down that run and there's someone standing in the middle of it, it's not going to end well for anybody. As they enter the first bowl, they fall into, I'm going to call it the traverse trap, where after doing like one or two bumps, they immediately start traversing across and across and across. So instead of actually skiing down the run, they are traversing and almost side slipping down the run. Okay, and again, without being unfair, judging by the snow ploughing throughout, I'm going to say these guys are slightly out of their depth. Constantly traversing across the piste you're going to eventually have to ski down it. Okay, and again, the snow plough being used in these powdery conditions, and actually the snow conditions here are absolutely brilliant. It looks like really nice, super soft snow, which is it's just a shame that they're not making the most of it. As they ski down, they are of course ending up skiing uphill to slow themselves down, which of course will cause somebody eventually to fall over. Yeah, luckily it's not a big crash. They're able to get back up again. So yeah, it's even after the main chute opens up, they then carry on traversing further and further and further across. They almost feel like they're going to traverse all the way round until they get right back down to the croisette. It's a shame, but again, I probably can guarantee that you will meet people like this when you ski down the couloir. Okay, because everybody wants to ski it. Okay, regardless of their ability. So snow conditions, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. And sorry guys, amusing, painful to watch, but I'm going to say 4 out of 10. Now I'm sure someone will ask me that why haven't I posted a video of me skiing down the Grand Couloir? And I've got to say, because I've skied it so many times, it's not really on my priority of runs to ski on a daily basis. However, if you would like to see me ski the Grand Couloir on camera, then next year, when everything is reopened, then I will be more than happy to do that, even with my dodgy leg, and I will try to do it more justice than some of the people here have. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, if you would like to subscribe, it would be much appreciated. Click the like button, leave me a comment down below if you thought I was being a bit rough on any of the people here. You know, again, it was not intended to. And on that, I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.